So guys, unfortunately, I lost the beginning footage of this video. I might have confused it with a different video that I was trying to delete off my phone. Anyways, I gotta be more organized. Right here, we have a 98 Grand Cherokee. Has the 5.2 V8, 155,000 miles, and I picked it up for $800. It is cosmetically very straight, paint is good. Couple little things here and there, interior-wise and exterior-wise it needs, but the main problem it has, the reason he was selling it, is because he thought the power steering pump went out. He basically lost his belt due to a loose power steering pump pulley and parked it. He also had a bad drain on the battery, and he said it would drain literally overnight. So I picked it up, I brought it home, and I could tell the pulley was loose. He kind of thought it meant the pump was bad, but from what I saw, it looks like the pulley had just cracked around the midsection where the bearing is, causing the pulley itself to spin on its own around the bearing. So obviously it was loose, the pulley was ready to fall off. So go ahead and check it out from here. As you can see right there in the middle, the pulley kind of free spins. It's like the teeth right in there kind of sheared off. I don't know why. Usually it can happen if your pump shears, but this, I mean, it spins fine. So I think we could just have a pulley that broke. So I'm gonna try to replace the pulley first. They're 20 bucks and it's easy enough since we don't have to take the pump off and bleed it. And we'll run it, and if it works, awesome. If not, we'll throw a pump on there, but I really think the pump's okay. Perfect. It's not locked up, so I really think, well, I don't know what to think, but we will figure that out when the time comes. So look at this. We are cracked here and here and all down here. So what happened is it cracked and then it loosened it up and caused it to spin on the actual bearing. And these things crack all the time. If you go to the junkyard, you'll see them cracked up here. I think this one just happened to crack down here. So hopefully that's the case. We'll throw the new one on and hopefully everything works out. Before we put the pulley back on, I noticed it looks like we're leaking some coolant out of here because this has been changed recently. So I think I'm gonna have to pull this. I'm gonna put a new O-ring on it and we'll slide it back in and check all the torque on these really quick just to be safe, and hopefully that fixes that issue. They basically just took this corroded pipe, didn't even put a new seal on, and just shoved it back in there. So that would 100% cause our issue. Now, before we start this thing up, we need to test for the drain. We're at 18 milliamps, so I don't really understand what's draining. Unless he just had a bad battery. All I'm seeing is 18 milliamps, so we're fine there. What I'm gonna do though is, because there is some stuff unhooked on the interior. The glove box isn't in, the radio isn't in, and those could all be causing draw, or he could have had a bad battery. So I'm gonna throw it all back together. We're gonna take it on our test drive, make sure the power steering pulley is working fine, that we're not leaking out of that O-ring that I replaced on the water pump inlet. And if that all checks out, I'm gonna order a new radio that's Bluetooth. Once that gets here, we'll install that and kind of go from there and see what happens. Well, it's running smooth. There is like one little hard spot when you turn the wheel. I'm hoping that'll kind of smooth out as we drive it. It could also just have a little bit of air in there. But aside from that, the pulley seems to be holding strong. So we'll back it out, let it warm up. We'll do our little loop on the freeway, take it for a test drive, and make sure it holds up. And I think we're good. Scratch the test drive. We are empty on tranny fluid. Okay, I have the car jacked up, and what I'm gonna try to do, because I have that one little hard spot in the steering wheel turning left, I'm gonna see if it goes away when the car's elevated, and if not, at least try to bleed the air out. And hopefully that's the issue. If not, it could always be a worn joint in the column itself, or steering pump's going out. Well, elevated, there's no hard spot. So I'm just gonna do this a couple times. This will kind of help get any air out of the system. Good news, test drive went good. She drives perfectly. She runs nice and smooth. Heater works great. The bad news, and of course, thermostat leaks. I mean, not a big deal, but you can see, let me focus this. You can see, first of all, it's completely wet around there. It's all wet down there. And then look at how they secured that. A self-tapper. I'm assuming they might have stripped out the normal hole, but I mean, that would work, but you got to use a ton of goop, and they probably didn't use a ton of goop. So I'm going to have to pull this apart and really look at what's going on right there. Technically, the proper way would be either to change the intake or to drill it out and install a helicoil. So when we pull it apart, we'll see what's going on. Our pulley is also holding nice and strong. We also do not have a hard spot in the steering anymore, so I think we got all the air bled out of it, but I'm gonna call that fixed. Power steering pump does not leak. Our pulley, for some reason, just decided to crack on us. Here's the self-tapper they used. I mean, it works. If you have one in both sides, it would work. So I don't blame them for trying. Guys, this is not... Okay. You see, this right here is the hole they drilled. They filled the original hole in with soldered metal. They filled this one in with soldered metal. This one goes straight through, and you can see the screwdriver bouncing around in there. Goes straight through right into where the coolant is. Well, I'm frustrated. It just sucks that some people are just not good at trying to fix things, and they just make it worse. And now we have to do a whole intake manifold gasket. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world, but we need to fix it right. So I'm gonna pull this whole manifold off, and at 9 o'clock when the junkyard opens, I'm gonna go pull a new manifold. Hopefully they got one there, and we'll throw it all together, and then tomorrow we should be able to refire it up and make sure I did everything correctly. Well, this project is getting worse and worse. I've broken the 2 front studs off, barely put any pressure on them. They were just so rusty they broke. So hopefully we can figure that out, because I'm not taking heads off. It's been about an hour drilling, but I think, oh, we finally got it. Well, now the fun part, we need to get these studs out of here. Look what I had to do. It was so corroded. This isn't even threaded, by the way, but it was so corroded onto here, I had to drill it out until it came loose. So this thing's for sure toast. What sucks is I have to do this very same thing on my Jeep here pretty soon. But whatever. I got some paper towels covering up the holes, and we're gonna slowly start working on these guys. I'm gonna wire brush around them. We'll spray them and then start using some vice grips and try to get them out, because those need to come out. We got an extractor on there. I'm gonna see if it does anything. I don't know, but we just gotta be very careful while we use this. I think it's just barely too big. Okay, it's Monday now, but Friday night I stayed out here late, and basically here's what I did. So those studs were broken, these 2 up here, very common. I ended up drilling them both out. I was able to save most of the threads in here. I probably drilled through about half of them, and then the last half of the stud spun out. So we got about 3 to 4 threads at the very bottom that are still intact, and that should be plenty to torque it down to 12 foot-pounds. This one, I could not save the threads, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our new drill bit, we're gonna drill this out a little bigger, and we're just gonna tap it and run a helicoil in there. Helicoil is a similar process. Got it on our little thing there. Put some red lock tight on that bad boy. We don't want her coming out. Go till you're flush with the block, maybe a little under. Now there is a little prong at the very bottom. Break it off. So when it comes to cleaning any sort of head surface, whether it be aluminum or cast iron, a lot of people like to use a Rolock disc on like a little air grinder, don't do that, okay? Like you can, but honestly, in my opinion, that's kind of the impatient man's way of doing it, because it will make some imperfections on the surface, in my experience. I like to do the good old-fashioned razor blade and elbow grease. Now, I'll start off with the razor blade, okay? Because razor blades, they'll get, you know, a lot of the big chunky stuff. The stuff the razor blade can't get. Carbide scraper. Got the valve covers off, and I like to leave them off when I do this because it gives you access to everything without having to work under the valve cover gasket. Well, I've decided to not sand the surface. I've gotten every last bit of material off, and she is nice and smooth. Over here, where these broken bolts were, couple little scores. I'll probably put a thin, very thin layer of RTV right here when I put the gaskets on, just to help that. But for now, we're gonna work on a new intake manifold. I pulled this off a 98 Dodge Ram. They are the exact same manifolds that come on the ZJs because they are the same motor. So with this, yes, we need to clean the mounting surface, but when you take the manifold off, replace your plenum gasket. These are known to go bad. The ones they use from the factory are just not good. And I just broke a piece of that gasket off, so that's nice and brittle. All our surfaces are nice and clean. We've got the plenum plate looking brand new. We're just gonna slap this back together. So here's what we got going on. I've cut 4 studs and I've screwed them in the 4 corners, and this way I can just set the intake straight down without it wandering. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna use our regular gaskets here. The quart gaskets that come for this, guys, just throw those away. Do not use those. Take some Right Stuff, hell yeah. Or you can take your black RTV, your red RTV, whatever you want that is oil resistant. And we are gonna make sure we put an 1/8" bead on both corners where the heads meet the block. And we're gonna put a 1/4" bead all the way down and up both sides of the gasket just a little bit. That way you can kind of attach it to each other. And we're also going to smear a little bit of gasket maker around both coolant ports on both sides, and under the gasket and on top of the gasket. And then she's ready to sit right on there. And there she is, all bolted down. We're gonna wait probably 30 minutes and then torque it. That way the gasket sealer can set. So I'm gonna work on the thermostat now. That way they both can dry overnight. Tomorrow we'll put it back together and fire it up, and hopefully it runs awesome. Got ourselves a new thermostat housing on there just so we could avoid the 2 random holes. She is torqued down, that's torqued down. Tomorrow we will get everything else put back together. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I finally have the motor all put back together. We've done an oil change just in case any excess coolant or anything got into the oil pan. And we've filled it up with coolant as much as we can. It is officially time to start her. Took one long nervous poop, so let's just get this over with. Prime it a couple times. All right. 3, 2, 1. We did it! Longest and worst thermostat job I've ever done, guys. Screw these things, for real. I'm gonna keep working on them though, but there's no leaks other than the coolant overflow was filled up way much by previous owner, so that's kind of dripping out a little bit, and then just from my funnel fell over when I was bleeding the system, so just some excess. But took it on a test drive and everything, guys. She idles nice and smooth. So I'm gonna clean up the garage a little bit because I kind of made a mess of things, and then we'll pull it in here and we'll get the interior tidied up. Look at that thing purr. Damn, I do good work. She's running like new, baby boy. This is the radio I get for any Jeep that does not, or car that does not come with the radio. It's like $40 on Amazon. Gets here same day, but in this case that didn't matter because I was busy with something else. But that's over now. We don't have to think about that.
What we do need to think about is all these wires. And of course I didn't bring my cutter, so we'll get the radio in first. Luckily it comes with this guy. And then we'll put everything back together. Should be pretty straightforward and simple. Let's see. Oh yeah. Bose audio, baby. Oh yeah. I forgot to mention, because I forgot about it, this freaking door handle's broken, so that's nice. And there she is. Cool. Let's take some door panels off, get this ready for tomorrow. I'm gonna steal these, and we need to fix that window, so that needs to come off anyways. Got the door panels swapped out. I know you can't tell a huge difference, but the other one's a little fancier right here and has a darker wood trim panel. But these ones still are very nice. They look great in here, and the other ones look better in my Jeep. Most people just won't appreciate the 5.9 door panels like I will. So we're gonna leave this plugged in overnight again. Currently our voltage is 12.32. So I'm gonna shut the hood. We'll come back out tomorrow and see if we have a drain or if we don't. We were at 12.3 last night. What are we at now? 12.1. It's not really a huge drain. I'm gonna continue cleaning up the interior of this thing, and then it does need a windshield, so I need to see when my windshield guy can get here. And it looks, oh. Huh. Well, her glass isn't attached, that's for sure. Oh, baby. Sweet. 4 working windows. Again, there's the old handle, completely broken. So we'll get the new one on, just like that. Woo! She opens. Hell yeah. So guys, it's a couple days later. She's all cleaned up, looking good, but I found one other issue. This does not latch fully. I don't know what's going on. I've messed with the latch. I can't get it to latch. So we're just gonna open this up and zip tie that window to the insides of this door. And there you go. Doesn't open anymore. I mean, a little inconvenient if you want to use this, but not horribly inconvenient. And it's better than it always being open and rattling. And there she is. Got her all staged up, posted for sale. It's a cold morning, so everything's a little foggy, but that's what we got. And to be honest, she's been out here for about a week. And we already have a buyer. He is from 3 hours away, so he'll be coming to pick it up on Saturday for $3 grand. So again, we bought that thing for 800 bucks. We are in it $1,611.84. And he bought it for $3 grand, which leaves us with a profit of $1,388.16. Another good profit, and the Jeep is going to another guy who is gonna love and enjoy it. I'm very glad we got everything fixed on it. We got the thermostat housing taken care of. Please fix your thermostat housings the right way. If you break it, don't self-tap, guys. And if you're gonna tap out a hole, do it properly and don't break the tap in the damn hole, okay? Anyways, so as you guys know, any project car you have, most cars I drive, guys, they got check engine light, okay? Half the time I ignore it, but it's always good to keep an eye on what that light is for, just in case it's something important. So real quick, we're gonna talk about the Xtool. This is a great scan tool. It was sent to me by the company, much appreciated, and this thing is pretty sweet. It is the Xtool AnyScan. Comes in nice packaging. You have QR codes right here. This one is if you want detailed information and directions on how to use it. These two right here are for the app you need to download, whether you have an Android or an Apple. And as you can see, the tool itself is very nice, comes with a little digital screen. This will read your battery voltage when you plug it in to your car or truck. It's pretty sturdy, has cool little rubber grips on it. This is definitely something you could drop and not worry about breaking. Now, I have a couple scan tools myself that I use, Bluetooth ones as well, and this one is by far the highest quality. The ones I have are cheaper and they do the job, but they don't do everything that I wish it could. So let's get this thing plugged in and go over what it can do. See right there, got your battery voltage. Mine's sitting at a nice 12.1. And obviously before you plug it in, you're gonna wanna scan one of the QR codes on the side right here, or just go to your app store and download the AnyScan Xtool app for either your Android or your Apple phone. And once you have it downloaded, go into your Bluetooth settings and look for A30M. That's gonna be the device you want. This is the Xtool A30M. You're gonna find this quality certificate in the box. You are going to need this to log into the app. Go to your Bluetooth settings and find the A30M device and connect to it. This is the screen you'll see once you get into the app. You have many options: special function, report, auto scan, diagnostic, updates, and settings. You'll first wanna go into settings. You're gonna wanna locate the specific brand of your vehicle and get that downloaded. This just allows the code reader to figure out what vehicle you have and see what functions this car will allow you to test on that scanner. Once you have that situated, come back out to your home screen and click on Diagnostic. It's gonna take you to this screen right here, and you're gonna wanna click on VIN, and you're gonna have the option either auto scan, where it will find it for you, or manually input it. And in my case, I'm just gonna manually input it to be safe. Once your VIN is in the system, you're going to click on the package you downloaded for your specific make and model. In my case, it's Chevrolet. You're gonna click automatic detection, and it's gonna automatically communicate with the car to figure out what systems it has. And once it does that, it's gonna take you to a new screen. And now it's just gonna want you to select a couple options, just what systems your car has, what specific make and model it is, stuff like that, so it can give you a more accurate reading of your vehicle's systems. And finally, it's gonna take you to this page. You're gonna hit System Selection, and this shows you all of the modules that you are able to test. As you can see on my truck, I can test quite a bit. It is very helpful to be able to do this. First, we're gonna look at the powertrain, and we're going to read the DTC. I've had a check engine light forever. I already know what the codes are, but I'll show you. So, a lot of O2 sensor codes, a MAF sensor code, nothing super important. Hit that back arrow and come back out to this page here, and we're going to click on actuator test. This one's really cool. You can turn on and off specific functions on your car manually and be able to really test and see what a certain issue is, or if a certain module is causing a certain issue. So if you guys would like to own your very own Xtool A30M, which I would highly recommend, this is a nice, cheap scan tool that can do just as much as most of the high quality scan tools can do. Click the link below and use the discount code above and get 5% off your next purchase. Do it now. And if you enjoyed watching the video, as always, like and subscribe. It's always fun making these, and we will see you guys next week.